Are there other realms, dimensions, realities in the universe? I believe so. And I believe we can access these in many ways, through meditation, dreaming, astral travel. Now, I'm very lucky. I find I can astral travel fairly easy, you know. It's just always been that way for me. And it's something that happens quite frequently, whether I want it to or not. It's a good experience, but it can be a bit freaky at times as well. You know, in my younger years, it used to scare me. You know, because my dreams would seem so vivid, and they would feel so real. You know, and I've also had experienced the night hag. You know, where you're paralysed and it's like someone sat on you, clawing at you. You know, I was like 21 when that happened. You know, and it scared the shit out of me. It really did. I couldn't go to work the next day. I was that scared. You know, and for years I tried to find an answer to what that was. You know, and yeah, sleep paralysis, half the brain being alert, half being asleep. Yeah, that's in a mundane sense. From a sort of witchcraft sense, you could say that you'd been astral travelling, you know? And it took a while to get my head around that, you know? But, you know, practice makes perfect, and you can go off visiting other places, you know, meeting spirit guides, and I briefly touched upon in one of my other videos a deity that I work with. She was actually met through astral travelling, and yeah, it's a good experience, you know. One thing I do find funny as well is I think we've all got a doppelganger. Um, I've even had people say to me, Leanne, do you know, I seen you at so and so the other day, and you ignored me, and I was like, well, I haven't been there, you know. And I seen a photograph of an ex's ex-wife, you know, and we looked almost the spit of each other. Now, I think he's got some twisted thing, or had some twisted thing going on there, but you know, but yeah, it's surprising how close we looked. So yeah, other realities. I don't know if I should be smoking on these videos, but hey. Next question, outdoor versus indoor rituals. Okay. If you've got the opportunity, I would say do outdoor rituals at every occasion. But we haven't always got the privacy or the means of doing this. So I think indoor rituals guarantee privacy. But even that, you know, indoors, some people have a room set aside. I don't. I haven't got a spare room that I can set aside for sort of rituals. So I think you have to make the best of what you've got. I'd love to have a room just for magical workings and ritual and meditation, but it just isn't possible. But I think if it's within your means, try and do it. Do you use, or would you try psychoactive drugs for spiritual purpose? I just want to make this very clear before I even answer this question. I do not use drugs. That said, I have used drugs, and I've had one of my most intense teaching spiritual experiences whilst on those drugs. But I do believe it's not safe to use drugs. And I think a lot of people, and this isn't sort of stereotyping anyone, and it isn't degrading everyone, because I've had so many mental health problems, it's unreal. And I feel the drugs I took in my younger years didn't help, and for years and years it caused me many problems, mental health problems, you know. And it was a hard couple of years, and I have to work even to this day to maintain balance and harmony for my mental health. But yes, drugs for spiritual purposes. I went to Amsterdam for my 21st birthday, and it was on that trip that I learned what unconditional love is. And that was whilst on drugs, you know, and it was intense, you know. Like, after that I got ill though, you know. It's you know, I overdid it a bit. Oops. But yeah, there was a situation, and I'm not sort of one of these sort of what I describe as a hairy fairy sort of type, you know. But it was, I got myself in a little bit of a situation that I didn't like, and perhaps my body wasn't reacting very well to. And I actually prayed, you know, and I'm not religious at all, but I prayed for help. And help come in the form of an angel. And I know it sounds funny, but it was a genuine wow experience for me, and I still remember it very vividly. You know, I felt unconditional love from this angel. And it calmed me down, you know. I was having some sort of massive panic attack, anxiety attack. I couldn't breathe, you know. Seeing this angel calm me down, and she was sort of just floating on the clouds sort of thing. Yeah, people will say, oh, well, that was because he was using hallucinogenic drugs. It very well may be. But the fact of the matter is I had that experience. That's how I took the experience. It calmed me down, and it's since taught me about unconditional love. You know, my childhood comes from a place of anger, you know. I didn't feel loved as a kid, you know. I got issues with my mum, again, still to this day. So I never really knew what unconditional love was. And that experience taught me, and since then I've been able to grow spiritually. So that's my answer to that. I wouldn't use them now, because I've seen the harm that drugs can do many times over. As you know, I've lost friends, lost boyfriends to drugs. So no, I wouldn't do it. I don't, to be honest with you, I don't even agree with people smoking weed. You know, if they choose to do that, that's fine. But for me, nowadays, it's a no-go, you know. And do I have a code of ethics? I'm pretty chilled out, you know. But yeah, I do have ethics. I tend to fashion those ethics on the Desiderata, you know. I'm not Wiccan, but I really like the part of the Wiccan Rede where it says, "In harm none, do what thou wilt." Standard morals in life, you know. The prayer of St. Francis of Assisi. And I think it's important to have ethics and morals. You know, you see so many unscrupulous people out there, out to harm each other and stitch each other up, you know. And I think if we all had like our own ethics, you know, and actually lived upon those ethics. It's all right saying, oh, I've got them, unless you're actually living that way. And you know, that's a work that you strive for every day. It isn't just like bang, that's how I am. You know, you have to work for it, you have to strive for it. Human beings aren't perfect by any means, you know. What other religions appeal to you? I'm not sure I can answer that at the minute, because spirituality and paganism feels such an integral part of who I am. I suppose if any, it would be Buddhism, but I haven't researched it enough to give a concrete, definite answer and to tell you why that is. Mindfulness, Zen, peace, tranquility, be nice to one another, that's my sort of thing. How would you introduce spirituality to children, and would you pass on a book of shadows to your kids? In my other video, I show a book. It isn't necessarily a book of shadows. I don't really have one. I didn't keep writings of things I've learned, things I've experienced, which is a real shame. I have started to now, but if I had one, would I pass it on? It'd be a nice idea to have like a heirloom like that. Sorry, heirloom like that. To give to my daughter, and she can give on to her kids. But I don't want to force my beliefs onto anyone. You know, I've been there, done that. I had it done to me rather. So hopefully that answers that question. How do you want your remains to be treated when you die? I'd like to come home for the last time, you know, in my coffin, and to be with my family, you know, even in death. You know, I'm not scared of death. But do I want to be buried or be cremated? You know what? I think I'd like to be buried. I'd like a headstone, you know. One of my friends died and he got cremated, and we haven't got like a headstone or anything for him. The thing is, you've got to be practical in these matters as well. It all costs, doesn't it? Oh, someone's ringing me. So I'm going to leave it there now before we carry on much longer. Thanks, cheers, bye.